I'll move my book when he's what? He's giving me thumbs up? Okay. Good afternoon. My goodness, this is it's my honor. I'm Katrine Conroy. I'm the MLA for Kootenay West, and it's a real honor to be here this afternoon. And the turnout today shows us that we made the right decision in deciding to do the apology in both the communities and in Victoria. So I'm really happy to see so many people here today. And I want to acknowledge the territory of the Sinixt peoples, as well as the Ktunaxa, the Secwepemc, and the Syilx Okanagan, where we are gathered today. And I want to thank Attorney General Niki Sharma for traveling from Vancouver to be with us today. And I also want to thank the local MLAs as well, Brittny Anderson from Nelson-Creston and Roly Russell from Boundary-Similkameen, who also represent many of the Doukhobor community and their constituencies. But most importantly, thank you to everyone in the room and those who have been waiting for so long to hear the province's acknowledgement of an apology for the injustices committed against you, your families, your neighbors, and your loved ones. We know that many that were victims and survivors are no longer with us, and I thank you for all of you who are here on behalf of them. Please be aware that we are live streaming on video the remarks today and the Attorney General's remarks for the apology. So it'll be on the internet for those who couldn't attend. And there was a number of people who reached out that could not attend from quite a wide geographic range, from right across Canada and other parts of BC. We want to make sure that everyone understands that anybody who stands here on the podium is visible in the video. And there may be photos taken of anybody who is on the stage. And we respectfully ask that you do not record any of the proceedings today to maintain the privacy of individuals, especially those who have specifically asked not to be recorded. As well, please don't take any photographs of others attending today without their consent, because we were asked that not happen. So please respect that request. To honor the wishes of the community members, we will stop the video recording after Attorney General Sharma is done with her remarks. And to begin with, we'd like to ask Walter Swetleshaw to lead us all in the Lord's Prayer and in song. And we would ask you to please welcome in and join if you wish, and to please stand if you can.
Прочитаем «Отче» совместно, пожалуйста. Господи, благослови. Отче наш, Ты есть на небе и на земле. Да светится имя Твое, да придет царствие Твое, да будет воля Твоя. Яко на небе, так и на земле. Хлеб наш насущный дай нам на сей день, и прости нам грехи наши, и мы будем прощать обижающих нас. Не допусти нас, Господи, до искушения, приведи нас, Господи, во спасение. Яко есть Твоя сила и воля, Богу нашему слава. Отче всех мы на Тебе, Господи, уповаем. Ты даешь нам пищу во благое время, отвержаешь руку свою и исполняешь всякое душевное благоволение. Помяни, Господи, всех отшедших в вечную жизнь, а нас сохрани, Господи, во всем благополучном. На сей месте поклоняемся Отцу, Сыну и Святому Духу. Христос воскрес! We are going to sing the Lord's Prayer. Okay. Отче споем, пожалуйста, если могут помогнуть. Господи, благослови. Отче наш, Ты есть на небе, на Царствие Твое, да будет воля Твоя, яко на небе, так и на земле. Хлеб наш насущный дай нам на сей день, и прости нам грехи наши, и мы будем прощать обижающих нас. Не допусти нас, Господи, до искушения, приведи нас, Господи, во спасение, яко есть Твоя сила воля. Богу нашему Богу нашему Короткий стишок хотим спеть, если можно, чуть что постоять. Assured him. Katie Podmorov, could you come up? Yeah, this is a short. Okay. I appreciate this. What's that? Мы увидели братьев, сестер, а Иисус дорогой с нами быть обещал, мы дадим ему сердце простое, а Иисус дорогой с нами быть обещал, мы дадим ему сердце простор. Встретиться с вами пред Ним и волнениями разобыть, как отрадно исполнившийся Духом Святым и в общении от душ разделить, как отрадно исполнившийся Духом Святым и в общении от душ разделить. Фаворе обрати пойдем, погибающие ближних спасать. Сестры тоже зовите заблудших домой, вы их призваны тоже спасать. Сестры тоже зовите заблудших домой, вы их призваны тоже спасать. И в небесной стране до свидания, брат и сестра, не забудем молитва друг друга любить и в общении с Иисусом жить. Не забудем молитва друг друга любить и в общении с Иисусом жить. Thank you. A closing hymn, yeah, there will be. Of course, yeah. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Ms.
Well, thank you, Walter, and Katie, and everyone for joining together to sing the Lord's Prayer, but as well as for that beautiful hymn that's starting us off in the right way today. Thank you so much. In a moment, Minister Sharma is going to take the podium to read the official apology. And after that, we will hear from a few community members who have asked to share their stories as well. I know this is a moment many of you have waited for a long time, and we welcome you to share your personal feelings, your stories, your thoughts. I know for some of you, this will be very difficult to share in front of such a large group of people, but we, Niki, Brittny, Roly, and myself, we will be here after, and if you want to come and share your stories with us, please do, because we are here to hear from you. I know it can be intimidating speaking in front of this many people. We also have some community volunteers in the room and other staff in the room that are here to help any of you if you need any kind of assistance, including a couple of counselors. They're wearing name tags, and so could the volunteer and the staff please raise your hands around the room so people know where you are. We want to make sure that if anybody needs any support, that people are there for you. And I want to thank you all for serving in this important role. And I also want to thank everybody that's helped bring us together today. It was a bit of a momentous task, and a lot of people have helped out. It would be difficult to thank everyone individually, but I want to thank everyone for helping us to get people here today and tomorrow in Grand Forks, because it's really important that you are all here. And now I'd like to invite Attorney General Niki Sharma to the podium. Niki.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to start just by thanking all of the survivors and their families for the years of advocacy that have led us to today. I also want to thank my colleagues, Minister Conroy, MLAs Anderson and Russell. Thank you for your tireless advocacy on behalf of your community. You're all here, or many of you are here with us in person. I'm really grateful for that. I want to take a moment to acknowledge those survivors that we have lost, who couldn't be here today, but I know are represented well by their loving families. I know many of you are coming here today with mixed emotions. Please know that I am deeply moved by your courage, your openness, and your willingness to be present here with us today. I'm honored to be here on behalf of Premier David Eby and the Government of British Columbia to offer a heartfelt apology. British Columbia honors the diversity and contributions of all communities to our province and is committed to a society that is fair and just for all. In our histories, too many have suffered injustices that have negatively impacted upon their lives and their families' lives. This includes members of the Sons of Freedom Doukhobor community. British Columbia has benefited from the efforts and generosity of the Doukhobor people who settled in the Kootenay boundary region of our province. We recognize with thanks the many contributions Doukhobor Canadians have made in building our province. The Doukhobors arrived in Canada in 1899 after enduring persecution in Russia. Like many newcomers, they came with their own beliefs, language, and culture to find safety. The bread, salt, and water that rest before us serve as reminders of their fundamental belief in simplicity and living a peaceful life. With fortitude and hard work, they built a flourishing community in our province. But tragically, the government of the day took deliberate actions to destroy their cultural identity. In the first half of the 20th century, the provincial government levied fines against the Sons of Freedom community. The government seized communal property from community members for infractions that included truancy from school. Between 1931 and 1959, hundreds of Sons of Freedom people were convicted and handed sentences up to 3 years. Along with those convicted, hundreds of their children were placed in non-ward care in various provincial institutions and facilities, such as the New Denver School by the Province of British Columbia. Between 1953 and 1959, all Sons of Freedom children who could be located were removed from their families and placed in forced educational facilities. Many survivors have recounted the physical and psychological trauma that they experienced in these facilities, memories that will never go away. The trauma and stigma that emerged from these government actions created anxiety for the Doukhobor community and even to families whose children were not seized. This is a shameful part of our history. I was deeply moved when I heard the words, "The welfare of the whole world is not worth the life of a single child." I'm driven to tears to comprehend the horrors experienced by children of your community. As a parent, any parent in this province or in the world would agree, there is no greater love than a parent's love of a child. Children suffered the trauma of being torn from the loving arms of their families because of the actions of government, forced to see their parents only through chain-linked fences. And though time has passed, I know that the pain remains. The province of British Columbia recognizes the stigma and trauma experienced by the Sons of Freedom and the broader Doukhobor community. And so today, on behalf of the province of British Columbia, we acknowledge and apologize for these past injustices that were committed by the province. It was wrong, and it should not have happened. Although no words or monetary amount will ever undo the harm done, we are committing $10 million in funding to support initiatives recommended by the Sons of Freedom community. Of this amount, $3.75 million will be dedicated to a health and wellness fund for the Sons of Freedom Doukhobors to be directed to both individual survivors and surviving descendants. $5 million will be used to create a Sons of Freedom Doukhobor Legacy Fund that is aimed to preserve and promote the community's cultural heritage and to support educational initiatives, cultural programs, and the maintenance of cultural sites. Lastly, $1.2 million will be used for research and archival services to better understand the history of the Sons of Freedom Doukhobor and archive key documents and oral histories. This spring, my ministry will be working with the community in developing a quick and simple process to help survivors and their families access this funding soon. This apology and these initiatives are predicated on the hope that those impacted by these injustices are able to access the support they need to heal and find peace. And so we can all develop a deeper understanding of the impacts of these historical injustices, and most importantly, to ensure that such violations of human rights are prevented from happening in this province ever again. Today marks one step in this journey. We acknowledge that much of the harm done to the Son of Freedom was done by the government of British Columbia. So it is important that we ensure our apology is also entered into the historical record and be delivered in front of the Legislative Assembly. For that reason, Premier Eby will also be delivering an apology in the Legislature on February 27th. In conclusion, I would like to say, we know no amount of apologizing or monetary support can undo the trauma suffered by survivors and their family members who continue to live with this pain. But we hope that this recognition of accountability can in some way support your healing. We stand firm in our commitment to ensuring that such wrongdoings never happen again. And may this apology serve as a foundation for a better future for the Sons of Freedom Doukhobor in BC. And may your children and your future generations thrive for generations in this province in peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Niki. This brings us to the end of the video recorded portion of the event, and I want to thank all of those who joined us online from BC and throughout the world, and especially those people that from here in our own community that couldn't be here today in person that are joining us live stream. I want to thank you for being here. We'd now like to invite those in the room to come up and share their stories, those that feel